Hello, this is Truth vs. Falsity, Australian edition. It's time to tell you some Australian facts and misconceptions. So sit back, relax, and do some typical Australian things. Fact 1. Australia is the oldest existing continent out of all 7 of them. No, that should belong to America, home of the brave. Well, it wasn't the oldest continent ever.
It was better in the olden days when we were all part of Pangea.
Because that goes to Pangea. Australia's geology hasn't really changed much of recent. Although by recent I mean geologically recent, not like 5 years ago. Tasmania and Papua New Guinea are also part of the Australian continent, even if they're islands. However, in contrast to Australia's generally flat landscape, Tasmania and Papua New Guinea are mountainous. Fact 2. Australia is surrounded by 3 oceans. Not 1 ocean, not 2 oceans, but 3 oceans! But honestly, that's absolutely pathetic. We could have at least been surrounded by a 4th ocean. These 3 oceans are the Indian, Pacific and Southern Ocean. As such, we are quite a good place to dump your prisoners, as was done 200 years ago, because we're surrounded by lots of oceans. Unless you want to swim around 100 kilometers from Cape York to Papua New Guinea. Scientists are still trying to find out how to converge all 3 oceans onto one point. And of course they're struggling really bad. Fact 3. Australia is roughly equal in size to the contiguous United States. I refuse to ever believe that. So that's why we conquered Alaska up yonder. Also to keep those pesky commies out. Yeah. And it also defies the misconception that Texas is larger than Australia. That is only true by population. It's also a misconception that Greenland is larger than Australia. That is not true. The only way you'd think that is that on a map you're able to see every degree in latitude and longitude within the same length on a map, so it all spreads out rather equally. Same reason why it's false that Antarctica is an absolutely massive continent.
What the map says is true. Alaska is bigger than America.
Fact 4. Australia is the only country in the world to be occupied by only one country. But it almost couldn't have been. Before Australia achieved independence, each colony, which is kind of like the states Australia's in now, had to do a referendum, and every single colony had to say yes for Australia to be a country. In the 1899 referendum, every colony said yes except for Western Australia, which would have seen a rivalry that would dwarf Australia versus New Zealand. Damn Westerners. Misconception. Australians do not ride kangaroos.
Well, I don't care. I want to ride a kangaroo.
You see, all the time you were watching my second channel videos in November, I was lying. I'm just a highly sarcastic person who will take advantage of someone's gullibility. Kangaroos are not the main form of transport in Australia. And the pouch is essentially a kangaroo's vagina, and is very slimy inside. It's a shame, considering they are a green form of transport. Anyway, mate, thanks for listening, and I'll see you Sheilas around the internet.